Welcome to Brave, the podcast where we make sales not just a job but a thrilling adventure. I'm David Pereira, your guide and host on this journey through the dynamic world of sales. So grab your headphones and a cup of coffee because we're about to embark on a journey packed with insights, laughs, and maybe even a few surprises along the way. This is Brave, where sales meets excitement. Hi again, welcome back. Today we're going to do another follow-on from our previous discussions, which was around B2B tech sales. And how do we make sure that we're engaging with the correct individuals, and how do we go through that sales process? So in our first one, we discussed who we're going after. The second one, we discussed how we're going to find those people's contact details. In today's session, we're going to discuss outbound campaigning, outbound messaging. So physically knocking on people's doors and trying to get their attention for your product. For this section, I'm actually going to defocus into two subsections. And the why I'm focusing into these two subsections is that it depends on the value of the product and who your ideal customer is. If your ideal customer is the smaller SMME market, which is very broad, so i.e. you've got a lot of different customers that you need to be going after, your strategy on how you're doing your outbound is very different to if you're going to be going after tier 1 and tier 2 organizations where you don't have that many people to go after, and you know that you've got 50 to maybe 100 different companies that you can actually go after in a specific territory. I'll focus on the SMME first. So with the SMME around outbound, it's going to be volume. It's going to be how many people are you contacting per day, and what is the specific technology that you're going to be utilizing to engage with those individuals? How are you keeping track of what's working, what's not working? So in our previous one, we mentioned, who we're going after and the why. During the outbound, you're going to start compiling all that relevant information into either emails, into telephone scripts, into social media pushes, into, or rather LinkedIn emails, into WhatsApp messages, into all these different types of outbound campaigning that you can leverage to try and engage with that ideal customer. The best thing that you can do is then start measuring what is working, what is not working. And that measuring comes down to what is the channel, i.e. phone call, email, LinkedIn, what is the channel that's working best for that specific target client? And secondly, what is the messaging that's working? Are you using A/B testing on your subject lines? Are you using A/B testing in what you're writing in the body? And just for those that don't know what A/B testing means, A/B testing simply is that you're testing a subject line versus another subject line and seeing which is better. In order to do this in a pragmatic way, I would suggest that you do make use of some of what's called outbound software or outbound emailing software. So the ones that we make use of internally here is we've made use of Sales Handy, we've made use of Woodpecker, and we've made use of Apollo, has the capability as well. All these types of software then focus in on helping you easily send out a lot of different emailings and communication to your ideal customers, as well as recording what's happening with them. Are people reading your emails? Are they opening your emails? How many times are they opening your emails? Are they clicking on your links? So on and so forth. With that, you can then start again, as I said to you, you can start measuring as to what's working, and with the end result being a meeting with that ideal customer. That is the end goal of these outbound campaigns, is getting a meeting with that target ideal customer that you're going after. So that is the SMME, where it's a bit more broad, and yes, there's a bit of preparation around of what you're going to be sending out, but it's a bit more generic. It's a bit more, I'll give you an example of one that we have at the moment, is that we've got a point solution that's been tailor-made for smaller companies in South Africa. The one is something that's been built for electricians. So it's a way to digitize the process of electricians dealing with their customers. And that's a very point solution. But if you look at the size of the target market, massive target market, and we're going for volume, it's one solution that can help multiple people in a very simple fashion. The other side of this whole thing will then be around more complex technology. So when you're going after tier 1 and tier 2 organizations, where you're trying to sell ERPs, or you're trying to sell logistics management solutions, or you're trying to sell, warehousing, HR solutions, these very large tier 1 solutions that you try to take to these bigger organizations, requires a bit of a different approach. You can go the volume approach, but with these bigger organizations, you need to know, because everything's public knowledge nowadays, you need to, with your outbound efforts, you need to try and tailor-make it a bit more to that organization. So again, I'll start off with an example, is we're busy dealing with a chatbot technology, or conversational AI, whatever you want to call it. Conversational AI platform that essentially applies a learning language model on top of any type of content that you have, as well as backend systems. It's not supposed to be a sales presentation around the platform, just want to give you a bit of context. We are now approaching insurance companies, very, very large insurance companies, and we are making our outbound campaigns according to each individual insurance company. So for example, we're going after quite a large insurer, and we are talking about how we can assist them make more money and save costs around their call center and ensure that they actually make more sales. And we've actually built the business plan for them, and that is actually what we're sending to them. So instead of going after all these different companies and not doing anything right, it's actually a bit more prep, making sure that what we're going to be delivering to these companies is they're going to look at it, they're going to see value in it, and it's going to help us get to more senior people quicker. Because it's all well and good going after middle management, but when you're dealing with larger organizations, you need decisions to be made, and they only get made right at top, as with any business. But you need to make sure that you're actually solving a real problem, so you're taking them seriously. And again, this is more for if it's larger solutions that cost a lot of money and it's going to make big change in the organization, is you need to be a lot more prepped as to what you're going to propose to them. So that when you're doing your outbound efforts, yes, you're going to go to one company and you're going to propose this, but you can now go to multiple people within that same company and propose the same thing, because the value that you can get out of that is so high that allows you to spend the time and effort on that one organization, because you're very confident that you're actually going to help them with their problem. So I think those are the two different solutions, ways of doing outbound campaigns. It is a bit different depending on the value of the product and depending on what size company you need to be going after. Just to recap, if it's a bigger company, be a bit more prepared before you start sending it out. If it's a smaller company, understand why your offering is generic and how can your offer help lots of different people, and make sure that that's the message that comes across when you're phoning. But yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks for joining today.